That's a Trump.
Honestly.
That's not a gate, mate.
That is so immature. Like, we're being really mature here with our sounds.
Oh.
Sounds really good.
Are you actually trying to do that noise? And it's just coming out like a fart.
I'm trying not to fart, if for real.
Do you need to Trump? It's a safe space.
Go.
It's a safe space.
It's a confined space.
That's true.
You know, I mean, I'm not the most refined gentleman in the world, but I do have some standards.
But you try.
Yeah, but when you've got to Trump, you've got to Trump.
It's painful otherwise.
I agree.
Welcome back
to our fart podcast.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. This season is called Our Fart Podcast. Yeah. I overdid it, damn.
It's a niche, that, isn't it?
No, it is good. It's got legs.
Yeah.
But genuinely, welcome back.
Yeah.
We're doing another series.
Yeah.
And here we go.
and it started really, really low.
Yeah. So it can only get better.
Better.
Yeah.
Great tactics.
So I think you should ask some questions, Matt, about like what we've been up to.
Hang on a minute.
You're not sure about that?
No, I am sure, Luke. I mean, I'm Matt Dean, right? I produce the podcast. If you've not listened to series 1, this is series 2. You're Luca Shaw.
I am Luca Shaw.
You work at 1853.
I do.
What do you do?
My role is creative director and curator.
Okay. And I'm a podcast producer.
Yeah.
But there's somebody else sat here.
There is?
So we shouldn't ignore them for, much longer, really. So you have somebody who works with you now.
I do.
Introduce that person, please.
So we went through a process of what's the word? Recruitment, and it was hard and it was long, but like giving birth, we get this at the end of it, which is Kathy. Applause. So I'd like to introduce Kathy, who's our new assistant creative producer.
That is me.
That is Kathy.
Welcome.
Thank you. My name's Kathy Smith. Because Lucas Shaw, Matt Dean, Kathy Smith.
Yeah.
Smith's a good second name, isn't it? Like,
I love it.
Yeah.
I literally love it. It's classic.
It is classic.
Family all over the world.
Yeah.
No matter where you go.
Yeah.
There's always a Smith.
And a band and a band name after you.
Oh, yeah.
That helps.
And it's dead easy to pronounce, Smith.
Yeah. Or Smith.
There's nothing worrying about it, is there?
No, I mean, I think Dean Smith and Shaw is all pretty straightforward.
Where did they come from? Where does Dean come from?
It depends. I think that it's an old name for a valley.
Oh,
that's nice.
Dean,
Yeah.
Mine's Shaw here. Shaw.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Pretty northern name, Shaw.
That's cool.
Like Shaw, like in Oldhamshire, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What about yours, Smith? Where's it? Is that south?
Blacksmith, goldsmith.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Silversmith.
Everything Smith.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trade.
Genius.
Trading.
Yeah, Smith of something. It's like a
worker.
Yeah.
Somebody that's good with their hands.
Yeah, gold worker or whatever. Yeah, interesting.
So we as part of our newfound funding,
which
from the
you
Arts
got
Council.
from the Arts Council. Well done, you.
Thanks. I mean, I had help, but yeah. So, to give a bit of an introduction to what we've done since the last time we released some podcasts, we spent a bit of time thinking about where we wanted this to go, this project, what people wanted, what we wanted to develop within the studios in terms of the space, as well as like our output and all this kind of malarkey. And part of that was thinking, right, maybe this is a good time for us to apply for external funding. And the likely option there is through the Arts Council. So we've put together a programme of events, which is currently named Visible Voices Creative Futures. And I suppose that outlines quite a lot of what our ambitions are for it, because I think that the easiest thing to say that we want from this program is to develop artists creatively, obviously, and then also develop partnerships and collaborations, because we don't feel like we do enough of that just yet. And obviously having a program of events is a great opportunity to do that. So we're collaborating with a few organisations, a few theatre companies, with you. You know, for the first time we're able to pay you to do this, which is just amazing. And a lot of this money as well, it goes to artists. Like, it's going to Kathy so that we can have some support with this producing and doing this program. But it predominantly goes to artists. So, like, you know, putting on an exhibition, the artists get paid. You know, they get an exhibition fee, or they get a residency fee, or they get a fee to do workshops with people, or, you know, so it's actually being able for the first time to pay people for what they do, and value what they do and value everything about it, you know?
Because as we all know, especially when you're starting off with something, like you before you've got a reputation, before you've got some kind of clout or commerciality or whatever, it's really hard. You start setting things up to get paid. It's just it's really, really, really difficult. Whatever your practice is, whatever your skill set is, if it's in a creative field, it's really hard to get paid. So it's great that there are some people now able to get paid for it.
Exactly. And that's one of the main things. Like, if you look at surveys, or you even just ask the people here, like, what is the biggest barrier to being able to do what you want to do? And it's money. It's being able to do what you want to do and get paid for it, because we don't live on air, guys. Like, we need money, we need to pay bills. So, and artists need that so much, and so often are underpaid in what they do. So it's putting in the right amount of money for people, making sure that it's at the rates that it needs to be, and the standard that it needs to be, and just being proud that we're able to do that. And I'm just so chuffed that we are able to do it, and you know, touch wood, long may it continue, because, like, it'd be really nice to be able to keep this going. And, you know, we're literally like 2 months in, like, you know, so, and we've already learned things that we would do differently, and how we might structure the program in the future, and learned, because it's also about us learning and developing as an organisation. So, like, doing things like training, and Kathy being here as well, me making my processes more visible, because so often in arts organisations, or lots of organisations, but I think predominantly arts organisations, you end up doing so much on your own simply because you just gotta get on with it. You don't have that much time, and you're also, like, you can't afford to pay others. So you just, you know, working on your own steam and you're getting your shit done. But making it visible for someone else has been so valuable for me. Like, to be able to be like, this is what I do, you know, how can you fit in, and how can you help make this project work? And it's already been amazing. Even in, like, the first 2 weeks, like, Kathy's had some amazing ideas that I've just been like, oh, thank God. Because I'm like, as much as I still love what I'm doing, kind of running out of steam a little bit, because there is too much to do. So, like, having Kathy come in and just, like, it's breath of fresh air, isn't it? But
well, because we haven't made any plans for this, and we're as usual just winging it.
Yeah.
What I think we should do is, let's find out more about Kathy,
definitely,
the human first, and the background and things like that, and then some of the role, and then a bit later on we'll talk about what you've got planned, because then we can drop in what we did the other day and stuff like that.
Great plan.
All right.
And maybe what I just said there needs to go somewhere else.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is really good. It gives, it's a lot of context.
Yeah.
And it also, like, leads into, like, why you needed to hire somebody.
Yeah.
Because, like, the workload that you have is a lot, and you're always growing and you're always expanding, and that is a beautiful thing. And so you want to invite more people to help that process, and also let that process flourish as much as it possibly can, and connect more people, and, like you said, support more artists and support the kind of ecosystem that you've got going on here.
Exactly.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've only met Kath. Well, I spoke to you yesterday on the phone for about an hour. And then on the other day, I spoke to you for, like, I don't know, during the exhibition, we got chatting. We sat in there for a bit, then we sat in here for a bit, and we just got chatting. So there's, talking about ideas and stuff like that, it's great. Kath's got loads of ideas.
I know.
They overlap with mine, but you've, like, and you learn something about people on that journey, but I still don't know that much about you, really. And obviously you've had the pleasure of interviewing all these people, and then you're learning about those people there. So tell us a bit about yourself, Kathy, just from like a sort of like a baseline, sort of like who is Kathy Smith, and we'll take it from there.
An absolutely ginormous question.
Yeah, it is.
It is so huge.
I'm going to move myself a bit because all I can see is like a pole and your sunglasses.
Who am I? Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin. I'm 32. That gives it context, doesn't it? That I've lived on the earth for 32 years.
Defo.
And in terms of like the work that I love to do, chimes mostly, I feel, with the visible voices side of like, well, that as a set of words. And I'm very interested in like public spaces. This is a really hard question.
I know.
I'm going to go on the most
as I've said,
tangents.
like
it's just the first things that come into your head. Like, it doesn't matter really. There's no right or wrong answer.
And it can just be, you know, like your interests and like what you've done.
You're from Oldham, aren't you?
I'm from Oldham. Originally. But we had this discussion the other day, which I thought was really interesting, because in terms of like how you identify and like where you're from, like people have something to say about it no matter where you're from in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like whether you're like this much of a person from Oldham or that much of a person from Oldham. But yeah, I grew up in Saddleworth, and I also feel like I'm from the entire borough because I spend a lot of time going to different places and went to college in Oldham as well. And I've moved around quite a lot. So when I was 19, I left home to go to Southeast Asia. I did the Southeast Asia thing. And then I settled in Vietnam and I got a job there and I lived there for a while. And I was teaching English. I had an amazing time. But then I started to kind of like feel a little bit lonely, and then carried on traveling and having a beautiful time. And then I came back home and settled in London. My mate was like, come and visit me. And I was like, cool. And I took a little overnight bag and then went to his gaff and I was like, I love it here. And then stayed for like 5 years. And so lived there, and then I moved to Birmingham, and then I lived in Greece for a little bit, and now I'm back home. So I feel like as part of who I am, I like to be everywhere, and I get a lot of peace from traveling, and I get a lot of peace from being in different places and being on the move, and it brings a lot of joy to my life. And that just is everything to me, actually, I think. And I studied anthropology, which I feel like leads into the way that I like to understand the world and them kinds of things.
And that was one of the things, like when Kathy applied for the role, obviously I had a lot of people who had studied art and or different forms of art, but the anthropology side was dead interesting to me because, I mean, it was visual anthropology, right? But that was so interesting to me because of how this role and this job and what we do here is so much more about people and attracting people and engaging with people. And it actually made it clear to me that I'm not actually sure whether I'm advertising the right role here, because, you know, I was, but what I mean is that the importance and what's the word, the emphasis on people, I couldn't have stressed more. And I just realised that probably too soon and too late, sorry. And with Kathy having that background, you know, I just found it so interesting, and I think it's invaluable, and it adds another kind of level to what we do, and the way that she sees the world is hopefully going to be really complementary to how we want to make this space and how we want to develop and shape this space.
Yeah, I love that, and that's kind of why I was interested in it as well, is because the public programming side of things, and you really wanting to connect to the rest of Oldham through what you're doing is something that I find that is needed and also exciting. Yeah. And it's like we were speaking about it as well, weren't we, in terms of like what like Oldham needs and how it can connect to different places, and how many beautiful people exist here, and how many characters there are, and like how many different cultures are coexisting at the same time, and like interwoven with each other. And that is the most beautiful place to begin when you're making something, and especially when you want to share something with people as well. Like, we are literally in the best place ever, and it's nice to come home and also realise that. Do you know what I mean? Because I left because I needed to leave. And now I'm back. I'm like, this is amazing.
But it's really interesting, isn't it? Because we've got some shared experiences, you and I. Like, we both lived away for a while. I've taught English in Thailand for a while. But the way we see the world and the conversations we've had have been very much about, we'd be talking about, because you're interested in radio and music and things like that, and marketplaces and pubs and the kind of environment, public places of connection. And then because you've been around the world and different places, especially when you're on your own, it opens up a different way of living and being. You have to connect with people, because otherwise you stay on your own. Like traveling on your own is a totally brilliant experience, isn't it? Because you learn to understand people on a different level completely. It's really fascinating. I think people who've traveled come back with a totally different perspective. But what's it like when you get back? Like for you, like, because since coming back to Oldham, it's been completely different. It's a different place for me completely, and I'm a different person. Is that a shared experience as well?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like at first it was like difficult for me in lots of ways, because like when you leave a place, you leave things behind, and so you pick up that stuff. But whenever I go anywhere, like, and I return with a new sense of like understanding in life. And I'm interested in so many more things when I've been somewhere else. And so I feel like I had that here. So I'm like looking around and everything's exciting to me and everything's beautiful. And that happens everywhere I go. And I get like, and you can just understand that the world is a beautiful place. Obviously, it's got things about it, especially at the moment, in lots of different ways. Like, we are dealing with so much like destruction and chaos, and that's when you need to really focus on like how we can build connection, what parts of public life need more support or need more attention, and then how we can come together to do those things. And I feel like we have it here, and there's a lot of like seeds as well. It feels there's like lots of like beautiful things beginning, and that's amazing. I don't know why, it just made me think of something that really inspired me when I was in Japan recently, and there was a practice like in the Edo period of people coming together in like the autumn and going on a hill and listening to the insects. I was like, I would love to do that. Isn't it? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, we should do it here in Oldham.
We should.
In the peaks.
And I feel like that, it like sums it up. Like when you've been away for a while, you find these incredible ways of like being and like connecting or like understanding things or philosophies, and then you come back or you come to your origin place and you're like, wow, if we like merge all of these things together, like what could life be? Kind of thing.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that you said in the interview as well. You were like, I was like, why do you want to work here? Like, and then you were just like, I'd like to take all this experience that I've gained from like lots of other places and bring it to my hometown. I was like, that's fucking sick.
Check.
It's just like, it's a really nice thing because sometimes it's simple. It's not complicated. Sometimes it's simple, isn't it? Just having that passion to want to make something more broad and
This place in itself is like, everywhere is its own little world. It's like they're seeing it at the end of Men in Black, when it comes back from, and you keep expanding outwards, and it's like worlds within worlds within worlds. And this 1853 is a world within a world, isn't it? And
it is.
We've got our own little community, which is new and needs development, but it needs personality. Like there's a networking event this evening. Like it takes effort. It takes people to give their energy and get involved. Yeah. And all this is still really new. It's still really new. I've been here for 2 years and this building's changed quite a bit, but it's still really new. We're still nowhere near. And like everything you've done with your Arts Council funding, now Kathy coming in, when new people come in who you think, oh yeah, they're great, and things just start incrementally building, and it's nice to just be on the journey and not I guess like with traveling, because traveling you have to literally travel long distances. You spend a lot of time sort of looking out of windows and reading and listening to music and thinking and talking to people and things like that, and it's a pace of life in it that you're not rushing anywhere. You're not things you just take it all in. And I feel a bit like that with this place. It's kind of like I'm here and I know that there's a destination. I don't know what that destination is. It doesn't really matter because I'm here for the journey. And I think that's what's nice about doing this podcast as well, is that it's kind of like recording that journey.
Yeah,
so it'd be nice in a few years to see where we've gone and what's happened and who's come in and who's gone and all that.
Yeah, it's an archive,
massive.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I like about this process. It is archiving what we're doing, and it's also making it accessible for those that maybe live somewhere completely on the other side of the world, if they were curious about our little part of the world here and what we're doing in this really interesting point in time as well. You know, like we're occupying this mill right now, and that's a time in this mill's history, and it's so interesting that we're able to capture it, and so important that we're able to capture it. And I think, because I love history, so I find it so interesting that we're even like possibly contributing to a bit of that, like that history making.
What about you, Matt? Like when you came home, how did you feel?
It was totally weird, like, because I think the circumstances and things like that around it make a big difference. So like I was living in Ireland for 10 years, and then just as like my relationship was like, you know, coming to an end, and it was COVID and I couldn't leave the house, and it was awful. Like the situation back home was awful, and I just, you know, my head was all over the place, and I just, when I made the decision that I was going to leave, I just wanted to leave so bad.
Yeah.
And then what I had to do was like pack my car up, and as soon as the first ferries were available, I was gone. And so I was delighted to be home, but then I'd left the whole life behind, you know, family and everything had changed massively. So, but because I'd been doing my football podcast, I was connected back to home in a way that I'd not been for a long time. I'd made a lot of friends online. We were recording podcasts and having meetings and all this kind of stuff. So I kind of came back to a community of people through the football. I was quite well known as a result. And it was, you know what I mean? It was weird. It was like, I felt really positive about being back. I'd sort of set up my life here while I was away to a degree. So it's not like I'd just sort of like taken, like, you know, my mindset of, you know, of being like, my world had got very small over in Ireland at that point, and I would say no to a lot of things. And, you know, I was kind of like really, if I'd have just come home and been in that state of mind, being back here might have been very different. You know, I might have, I don't know, but I was ready to grow. I was ready to be out there, and I was ready, and it was, I loved it, and I loved being back, and I loved being back amongst nice people, because the people here are nice, they're friendly, they'll talk to you, and it's welcoming. And so I guess it's kind of like I got back here and wanted to be here.
Yeah,
that was the main thing. I was really happy to be here, and I was, but like you were saying, I could see all the positives. And I wasn't, a lot of people who are here and have lived here for a long time and maybe lived in the same place for a long time focus on and get engulfed by the negatives, and they don't see the positives. Whereas I could see all the positives and all the opportunities and all the positives about the place. And so I felt like I could contribute to that. And that's what I'm trying my best to do.
That's amazing. I feel that too. And like, even just when we've been talking, like, you've got so many great ideas as well. Like, I just love the idea of Oldham TV. I'm just going to be real. It would be
coming soon.
Like, Matt doing Oldham TV, like, that's just the most fun ever.
It'd be so great.
It would be so much fun.
This is, like, I've come back and I've had all these ideas, and they're not like all these ideas. I've got these visions, I've got these things that I want to do. And then it's a case of like, this is why when I came here for the first time, I was like, right, this is my new home. I want to be here. And then the people that I need to meet, or some of the people that I need to meet, I meet a lot of people all over Oldham and Manchester, whatever, but some of the people that I need to meet to help make my dreams come true will be from here. And this will be a big part of it, because I just knew when I got here, because of the potential of the place. And then, like, you know, love your enthusiasm for it and your energy. You know, like I was describing you to Rebecca the other day. I'm pointing at Luca now, by the way. But you know, I was saying, I'm going to introduce you to you'll love Luca. You and Luca are getting really well. Rebecca's lovely. She's dead passionate about community and art and everything. And you know, she was constantly thinking about maybe getting a unit in here, but it's not necessarily practical for her at the minute. But it's just like, the more people like that that come in here, and then you came in and it was like, I get straight away why, because you had a lot of people to choose from, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
But when I got chatting to you, Kathy, it was like with all your ideas and your enthusiasm, it was really obvious without having met any of the other people. It was really obvious like why you thought Kathy would be a good fit.
I think because as well, like I kind of touched upon earlier, like I have so much enthusiasm and I really care about what we're doing here, and I've adopted it as my second home.
Are you going to get Oldham on the other arm?
Maybe
because you've got your support tattoo there.
Idea.
But I really
it needs to happen.
And I know I really recognise the importance, like coming from somewhere that I'm also very invested in, like
Cheshire.
Fuck you. Stockport. No, but coming from somewhere where I'm also very invested in it, I care about where I'm from. I also recognise the importance that like the people that need to be involved in this and the people that need to help drive it and the people that need to like give those ideas need to have that same passion of like about where they're from, because you can't actually do it without that. Like, and that's why it's not about me, it's not about Rachel, it's about all the people that use this space and like engage with this space and they make it what it is, and that's the only way you can sort of do it. But like I am very passionate, and you're absolutely right, but and I touched upon it before, but like a part of what was important for me was that passion that Kathy was showing, because I can lose it a little bit, you know. I'm sort of like I'm getting a bit lost in like the very specific, I have a to-do list like half my arm's length, and so it's a little bit like sometimes I lose that passion and stuff, and I need that from you guys, like to just be like, oh, this is great and what you're doing is good, and like, and it just makes such a massive difference when you've got those people around you. So I'm trying to build a team that is sort of like complementary to one another, and like I can get very like about the specifics, but Kathy's head's in the clouds, and I need that. Like I need that, because I need to be able to be like, and also this perspective that you were talking about before about like not rushing. I rush a lot. I rush
that's
around.
That's the thing with passion, though, and passionate
I know,
people.
it does make you rush.
Is that you kind of like throw yourself into things, and then you exhaust yourself.
I do.
And I do that as well sometimes. Yeah. And then I'm just kind of done, and I'm like, I can't be asked to do anything for a week or whatever. But then I have to get my energy back up again.
Yeah.
Taking that time though to just be like, right, let's just have a chat about it. Or God, it's so needed. It's so needed. And sometimes, and I think it's reflective, broader in the arts as well. Like you know, in other organisations I've worked in and whatever, sometimes you just don't get time for that because of your funding or whatever, or your goals or your feedback objectives or your budget or whatever. Like it doesn't always allow for just that time to sit back and relax, but and think and just like take that easy and not rush. And I really hope that we can bring some of that into what we do, and just like allowing room for change and for maneuver. And like, you know, Kathy came in and we had this set plan for well, I thought I had a plan for like the exhibition we have on at the moment and like where that might go. And then Kathy came in and brought this idea of a workshop in, and it's just evolved naturally, and it's been really good, and like it's been really like organic, and just like what you said, you know, and you thought like, oh, what I need is here, you know, and that's happened. Like brought it in and it's here, and it's just happened. I've completely waffled there. I don't even know what I just said.
I know, but I really like as well how important those two things are together. Yeah. Like the passion that you have and the love that you have for creating structure, but also fluidity within that structure to like think wherever you want to think. And those two things are constantly needed for balance and for creative ideas to flourish. Because you need somebody to kind of like have random ideas in the cloud or whatever, and then you need the structure to kind of actually make anything happen. Yeah. And then when you're working together, like when we can work together, then we can swap. Do you know what I mean? You're like, okay, have the structure for a couple of weeks. I'm going to go in the clouds. For like a few days. I'll see you soon. Yeah. And then we can just keep on swapping, and then we can have that time, because you're so right. Like in the creative industry, and it's like what you were talking about as well, Matt, in terms of like not being paid when you're grafting and you're beginning with something. So many people are burnt out because you have to do everything because there's not enough resources for you to not do everything. And because and you're constantly in that cycle. So the more people that you have that are sharing that passion and that love that you can share with them, like when you're at max capacity, and then people can take the load, and it's the community, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And that makes things thrive.
I think the thing with creativity is like, it is fluid. Like, and that's the thing about, I like people who say yes. Yeah. Can we do this? Yes. How are we going to do it? Well, we'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah, I
you know,
like that
and
too.
because you don't know, and you learn what you need to do the next bit, and then you learn what you need, and you bring in the people that you need to do it. But I think that's like the essence of creativity. You kind of like, you know, whatever it is, whether you're working on a piece of music, a painting, or whatever. You get to a point, you go, this is not working. This has to change. That's where the creativity comes in, where you've got, you know, it's from the point where you're like, and you just keep going and you chop and change. And I was talking to somebody yesterday about like business strategy and stuff, and I just think like strategy is just an ongoing thing. You know, like, do you have a strategy? It's like, well, yeah, just respond to what needs to be. You know, like I think have the vision. And then do what you need to do to get there. And, you know, there's not, I don't think there's that much more in it, really. As long as you believe in what you're trying to do and what your vision is.
Yeah.
You'll have to figure the rest out as you go, because plans change, don't they?
Well, they do. You've got to allow yourself to be adaptable. But it's hard to be adaptable sometimes, like you say, because you're a bit
It's exhausting,
You've got to find ways.
We have to find ways.
We will find ways.
We always do. Like every single time. We're like, oh yeah, I did it.
I think
That's so true. You always did it.
You always did it. It's like you're at the end like disheveled, but you got it done.
Did you just say disheveled?
Yeah. Disheveled, yeah.
I love that. What is it? Disheveled?
I don't know.
Yeah, disheveled. It used to be disheveled. It's disheveled now.
Disheveled.
I always get sayings
Fart
and things
podcast,
wrong.
disheveled.
So fucking funny. Oh gosh, disheveled. The imagery that brings forth.
Please,
like, honestly.
share.
No.
No.
Anyway,
right.
Jinx.
Bad luck for a week.
We've just mentioned Scott.
Yeah,
in the exhibition.
Yeah.
So shall we? Do you want to set up the the little chat with Scott that you did?
Yeah. So, how do I set it up? Like, this is what you're going to hear next, or
so who's Scott? Right. And why did you chat to him?
Right. Okay. So for the first kind of program, the first piece of programming, the first event that was happening as part of this broader program with Arts Council was a residency and exhibition with an artist called Scott Brown, who's originally from Oldham, from Royton, so like literally not far. And his exhibition, which was the result of his residency, which was a 2-week-long residency in our massive gallery, which is ridiculously big. You'll hear him talk about this in a minute, but was on last Friday. So we opened it last Friday. There was a bit of a turnout. So I spent some time to talk to him at the exhibition opening. So here it goes.
Here it is. Beautifully done.
So now we're just going to walk over towards the windows, because this gallery has an epic view, and it is the view that Scott has been looking at for the last 2 weeks whilst being in this space. So for context, we are in our Mill 2 gallery, which is very large. Can you describe how large it is, Scott?
I'd say it's really big. I couldn't tell you the square meters. But it's one of the bigger rooms I've been in.
Of all the rooms you've been in, it's one of the bigger ones. Yeah. So for context, it's like a big open gallery space. It's like we've managed to fund a purpose-built gallery for the first time. So it's got like a bit more bells and whistles. Is that the phrase? So it's got some nice lighting. We've sorted the floor out a little bit. We've got some walls that are floor to ceiling, and we've exposed some of the beams and stuff. So it's looking pretty nice. So for context, as I said before, Scott applied for our residence for an opportunity about a year ago or something, and we kept in touch. I was kind of interested in like how Scott is from literally a stone's throw away from here, and like maybe grew up like in the shadow of this mill a little bit, maybe saw it quite a lot. So that was kind of interesting. So when we were writing our Arts Council bid, I thought, who would be good to come and join us as part of this? So that's how Scott and I kind of got to know one another. I'm going to ask you, Scott, what were your first impressions of this space?
I thought the space was amazing. I mean, firstly, it's the windows, because you can just see all across Manchester. You can see like Salford, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, I don't know. I just love being up high and looking out over stuff. But also, I don't know. The pillars are super striking. They're bright red, and the doors are pretty awesome. It's a strange space to negotiate when you're putting an exhibition together, because it's like almost, it kind of expands outwards as you come into it. Like some of the walls are hidden when you first come into the space, because it's like almost like a hallway, and then it expands out. But that was really cool when we came to like putting the exhibition together, because one of the walls has like a wall of drawings, and you can't actually see that when you first walk in the door, really. So it's quite nice, to play with that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that wall of drawings now, actually, and I'm thinking maybe we need to put a light on that. What do you think?
It's a bit, it's because we've lost the natural kind of daylight now, so it's getting a bit darker. But
I mean, so we're at the opening tonight, but just as a little plug-in, this exhibition is going to be open for all of July. So we're open on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays, so people can come and see what Scott's been doing in the space, and whether we add lighting to that particular wall. So when you came in, just for a bit backstory, then you've just graduated from Slade, yeah? So is this your first residency anywhere?
It is my first residency anywhere, and it is also my first solo show. So
exciting.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I feel very privileged. I would like to place on record my thanks to Luca for that. So.
I thought you were about to say, I would like to dedicate this record to Luca. Oh, no thanks needed. Thank you to you. I'm really chuffed. Like, I was so excited about, just because it's about, what we want to do as well is support artists who are from Oldham, are currently living in Oldham, currently working in Oldham, any connection to Oldham, because let's get real, it's not really had a lot of like cultural activity, really. It has in the past, but currently where we're at now, it's kind of in a transition phase. So it's exciting to be able to invite you back and see how you respond to being here, basically. And can I ask have you noticed any changes in Oldham since you left? Did you leave as a teenager?
I left when I was 17, and kind of intermittently I come back for Christmas, stuff like that. I lived here for a little bit in lockdown, which was also the same time I was putting my Slade portfolio together, actually. Changes, I don't know, because Manchester more broadly has changed a lot as a place. I think Oldham is still thankfully still a bit ungentrified, but Oldham is kind of I would say very similar to when I grew up here. It's pretty much the same.
That is interesting, because I always say I'm from Stockport, South Manchester, and boo, and I when I started working here, I was like, oh, it seems like it is like those places, but kind of 8 years behind, or but I can see a similar trajectory in the sense that the council are now feeling like they're getting more involved in those things. But I suppose from your perspective, having been here for 14 days and been so heavily involved in what we're doing here, you might not have seen that, maybe.
I also haven't been into the centre of Oldham really, I haven't, so I haven't really seen that side of things. I mean, when they built the Odeon, that was a crazy moment. I couldn't believe there was an Odeon coming to Oldham.
Woo!
Yeah.
Odeon!
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's it's funny. Maybe that's it. Maybe I haven't seen enough of it. But
But hopefully, because and this is what we're learning as well about how we structure residencies, especially when it's a very unique situation like yours, when you're coming back home essentially, and so that brings with it different feelings, and whether we also could have done with a bit more time in between finishing residency and putting on show, so that could have given more time to explore Oldham, or even extend the period a little bit so that you had like time to spend just doing almost like research at first and things like that. You know, this is all things that we're thinking of, and it is a constant conversation, really. But I suppose that's just a point from me. But then there is one thing I wanted to ask you about. Since you've started coming in here, you started drawing. Can you tell us why? So for context, you told me that you, throughout your degree, your work had been a lot more about, a lot more focused into very mixed media still, but kind of things like sculpture and found objects being created into new ways, or collage or painting or maybe screen printing and things, but not specifically drawing. Why did you pick up a charcoal pencil or whatever?
It started actually because I was thinking about drawing on the floor. I think partly because the floor in this space is super textured. It has like marks from where like you can see that kind of semicircle mark and stuff. I was thinking about like tracing that, but also like, I don't know, like I'd been reading a lot of like number theory and occultish stuff, and like stuff that I mean, a lot of my previous work has been like kind of to do, like maths has been involved a lot in it, mostly as a kind of a way of expressing the world, but it's also like, I don't know, maths is sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
No, it's nice.
But maths is interesting to me as like, you know, it's like Kant would call it like an a priori. I don't know how.
What does that mean?
I don't know how you actually pronounce that. I may have pronounced that wrong. But like, it's a form of knowledge that precedes kind of human teaching. Like math,
right.
Like language would be the opposite of that. Like you kind of learn.
You do it before.
You learn. Well, you learn language over time as a person, but maths is kind of understood separately to that. Like
right.
It's like, yeah, maths is understood from like an unconscious level. I guess that's why it was interesting to me.
And then we put maths onto it, so it's almost like we understand it, but the maths that we learn is different to how we would have understood it before. Like almost like we give it meaning, but before it didn't kind of have that structural meaning to it.
But also like maths just exists in a functional form as well. Like you know, you can describe a shape using mathematics, but that description already exists before you got there, you know. Like, so anyway, I was starting to think about like drawing on the floor and writing equations on the floor and stuff, and chalk was kind of funny because it's I was using like chalk and soft pastels because it it's water soluble, you can wipe it off really easily, and it would also like smudge when people walked on it. However, I didn't end up doing that. I actually just ended up loving like the texture of them and how it actually feels to use them, and I ended up drawing on paper and making a bunch of those, and that kind of happened relatively naturally. I don't know.
Yeah, great. And also drawing on the pillars, like you can see that there's a drawing on the pillar, which is very cool, and something that I'm gonna remember forever, even when I don't know when I'll wipe it off, to be honest. I might keep it as long as I possibly can. Let's wrap it up. Thanks so much for coming and engaging with us and like with our spaces and our program. It's like it's so nice, it's so refreshing, and what you've brought to the space is so unique and exciting and just buzzing. And please come and see the show.
Yeah, come and see the show. Thank you. I'm very grateful to have done this show. Thank you.
Yeah, did you speak to some other people at the opening as well, or?
I can't remember.
Matt was he was really hungover.
I was really hungover.
Yeah, you were.
I was really hungover. Yeah.
Anyway,
don't worry about that. We're going to play the Scott thing.
And so Scott's exhibition is on until the end of the month, 26th of July. So, and we're open on Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays between 11 and 4 to come and have a look. It's a really interesting exhibition, and you know what else? Like, it's a great exhibition, but it also is a good chance to see the space because it is very open, and it's an exhibition that's a result of a residency, which I think is just a very interesting thing in itself. You know that person has spent that time in that space, and this is what's come out of it. You know, there weren't necessarily any fixed preconceived ideas of what was going to happen in the space, and this is what's come out of it. And it's a very playful exhibition. It's very thoughtful, and it's very like intuitive, and you'll see. It's, you know, it touches upon a lot of like childhood references, popular media references, things like that, how that affects us. So yeah, it's really worth coming and having a look. And maybe I should talk a bit more about what now we've got planned for the future.
That would be good. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So then for the rest of the time, we've got a few other things planned. And I think what we'll do is we'll focus some of these episodes on some of these specific events, but I'll just give an overview of what we're going to be doing. So we have the next event in the space is a performance project. So we are collaborating with a theatre company called Stand and Be Counted Theatre, who are the first theatre company of sanctuary in the UK. So they support creative people from all over the world who have maybe come to the UK and are struggling with that process for whatever reason, and they really empower them with what they do and their like programs and their workshops and things like that. So they now base themselves half in Oldham and half in Sheffield, and they've actually got a space here now as well, which is an update, which is really exciting. So we're collaborating with them to bring their show Ripples to our Mill 2 gallery. And Ripples is a show about the hostile environment that the lead artist Taff experienced. I think it's mainly based on his experiences and perhaps other people's experiences too. But it's going to be a show that is very like, I think the hostile environment is reflected in the way that you experience it as well. So like I think there's going to be a lot of like digital kind of impenetrableness to it. There's going to be a lot of like, I think they're going to be like TVs as part of the set. It's going to have that digital element and that I don't know, it's all still in the making, but that's going to happen in September. And it's going to have a run of shows, so keep an eye out for that. But then the second week is also going to just be more of a public programme where people just experience the space, and it's not so much as a show as a selection of things that are happening within the space that theatre happened. So I'm very interested in the connection between theatre and performance and visual arts, because I mean, it's a personal interest for me in my own work, but also I think like with the space that we have, it is so large and so suited to multidisciplinary work. And it was one of our aspirations and continues to be one of our aspirations. So that's really exciting. And then after that, we have 2 exhibitions that are going to be decided through an open call submission process. So one of them will be internal. So it'll be like we are inviting exhibition proposals from people within the studios. So it might be a solo show if someone's got that, or it might be a group show. People come together, but we're going to accept proposals, and then we're going to kind of decide and work with that artist. And as part of that, we'll always have a piece of public programming, like a workshop or a participatory event as part of that. And then the second one will be an external open call. And we've just been discussing whether that will look like another exhibition that's like submitting an exhibition proposal, or whether that will just be like an open where we set a theme or something and we invite many artists, because we also have to consider that one of our ambitions with this program is to like get more people in. We are a bit of a remote location. We're not that well known yet. We're still fairly emerging. So how best do we bring audiences in? And then that comes, and then just building on that throughout the program, we're collaborating with an organisation called DPACT, who are an organisation, a CIC that support diverse artists of different disciplines, but predominantly visual artists. And they have a unique kind of business model which revolves around food and art. So they've got these ideas for these cafe clusters where the artists run the cafes and the art that they make influences the food or the way that the food is presented. So we're doing some collaborations with them across the programme. So some of their artists are going to come to the exhibitions that we have programmed, respond to them, and create some kind of public program activity that involves food. So that might be like the artist like designs the plates, or maybe it's a piece of artwork that's handed round, or maybe it's a workshop, but their artists are collaborating on the themes that we're working with. So it allows us to invite new audiences in. They have so many more connections and diverse connections that we're trying to reach. So that's an excellent collaboration. And as part of this, we want to be like doing more outreach. We want to be reaching other organisations and other audiences, both like literally on the doorstep and further afield and stuff. So that's what the podcast's for as well. So there's quite a lot going on, but there's still room for change, as we just discussed. So hopefully that wasn't too much of a waffle and kind of gives an idea of what's to come.
No, you did well then to get all that through all that like that. Yeah,
good.
I mean, I think that's what you say about the geography of the place is important, because it's not like we're in the centre of Manchester and there's loads of people walking by, and it's kind of, you can. It just isn't. You have to be coming here for a reason, don't you? This mill, like, there's a snooker club, there's a mechanics, there's a...
We need a group
judo
trip
or whatever,
to the snooker club.
It's pretty damn good down there.
We need to do that. Maybe that's the staff do.
I think Scott went there as a kid, but I don't know who it was run by then, or whether it was in the same unit or whatever, but there was definitely always a snooker hall down here, and he went as a kid.
Also, it's so exciting, is it Deepak?
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Like the relationship between food and art is just like...
beautiful, isn't it?
So beautiful.
This next, as part of Scott's one, so we have an artist called Vian who's collaborating on this particular event in response to this particular exhibition. And we're working with a sweet maker who's going to create these like snack packs. So this is happening on the 25th, and these kind of activities, especially for this one, are going to be invite only, because we do want to invite certain people who maybe wouldn't usually come into these sorts of spaces, or maybe haven't been here before, or connect with some of the networks that they've already like connected with. But we might invite it out to more public facing further down the line. But, we'll see some updates and we'll capture some of it via the podcast and stuff like that. So, yeah, but food, just so important. And like how it can be creative. And Mabube, who runs the organisation, Deepak, we'll get her on later down the line. And the way that she speaks about it is just, she is amazing as a creative person and as a human and as like a director of an organisation like that. She just... bob on.
Wow. I can't wait to meet her.
Yeah, you'll love her. She'll love you. It'll be great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so watch
We
this
are
space.
so blessed.
We are so blessed.
We are so blessed.
Yeah. All right, I am starving. So like...
Hank Marvin.
I think that comes to the time of day. We've not got Rachel with us, but...
No,
Rachel
but there was an appropriate time to ask it, isn't it?
Yeah. What are you having for your tea, Matt?
Don't know. Same as usual. Well, we've got that network thing later, haven't we?
Oh, we do, yes.
So that's going to kind of, I don't know yet.
I've brought tea with me.
No.
Leftover chili.
Yeah.
What are you having for your tea, Kathy? You're out tonight, aren't you?
I'm out, yeah. So it's up to the universe. I don't know. Whatever is presented to me at the time when I'm starving,
Love it.
I will eat.
Yeah.
Maybe a falafel. From Go
I've
Falafel.
not had a falafel from a Go Falafel for ages. I love Go Falafel.
Yeah, it's tasty and affordable.
Yeah, tasty and affordable.
This is an advert for...
Other falafel retailers are available.
Nom nom.
Tasty and affordable. Go Falafel.
Nom nom.
There we go. Jingle. We'll send the invoice.
Love it.
Stunning.
Right, I think we're done, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let's go have a snack.
Nah.
Yeah. Can we just close on the gate?
I was just gonna.
Oh yeah, the gate. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
My pitch is all off. Oh, so calming.
Tranquil. Our Art Podcast is a KUPOD production in association with 1853 Studios and Gallery in Oldham, Greater Manchester. For more information, check out the links in the show notes. This series has been partly funded by Arts Council England.